I was trained to fight Christians. Then Jesus appeared to me. Prophet Isa El-Buba testimony part 1. Imagine dedicating your life to fighting against Christianity just like Paul in the Bible until he had an encounter with Jesus on his way to Damascus, and God asked him, Paul, 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 why are you persecuting me? That divine encounter blinded his eyes, blinded him from all the indoctrination, dogma, and wrong information he had about Christianity, and then took him to the house of Ananias, where his eyes was open to the right information and knowledge that he needed, so much so that he became one of the greatest apostles ever had, that he wrote many books of the Bible in the New Testament and become a trailblazer in the hand of Almighty God. And that's exactly the story of Prophet Isa El-Buba. I remember when we are living in Jos, I think he has the greatest prayer mountain that he has built, prayer tower he built all over Africa. I'm not sure there is any prayer tower that is greater than his. He became a trailblazer. My dear, so just as I'm saying, imagine dedicating your life to fighting against Christianity, believing Christians we are your enemies, only for the same Jesus you rejected to appear before you and completely change your destiny forever. What you are about to hear is not fiction. It is a terrifying and powerful real-life encounter of a man once deeply involved in Islamic extremism, who today has become one of the strongest voices preaching Jesus Christ to the nations. Stay with me because this story will change everything you think you know about redemption. But before then, please give this video a powerful thumbs up. If this is the very first time you're finding yourself in this beautiful family, you're highly welcome. Please kindly hit the red subscribe button and the bell notification so as to always get my next upload. For my returning subscribers, I love you so much. Thank you for always stopping by. So without wasting time, let's dive in. There are moments in history when God takes the least expected person and turns them into a weapon of his kingdom. Today, we begin the shocking journey of Prophet Isa El-Buba, a man whose life was deeply connected to radical Islamic ideology and hostility toward Christianity. But heaven had another plan. In this series, you will discover how one supernatural encounter with Jesus Christ destroyed years of darkness and transformed him into a vessel now advancing the kingdom of Almighty God globally. If you think your past is too dark for God to forgive, watch this till the end, because no one is beyond the redemption when Jesus stepped into your story. So my dear, let's watch this video. It's going to come in parts 1 to 4 because they are voluminous in order for us to capture it. So as you watch, please give this video a powerful thumbs up so that the YouTube will shift it to other people that need it, in order for it to get lots of views and attention. That will encourage me to do the part 2 by God's grace. And also subscribe if you have not subscribed. Hit the bell notification so as to always get my next upload. So let's watch it right now.
At the age of 5, I started fasting.
Wow, at 5?
Yes. Around the age of 12, I started going for Islamic training.
Wow.
That was how I learned military training. I didn't go to military school. I learned manual. I didn't join the Boy Scout. I went to Islamic military training.
Wait. As a Muslim, you prayed 172 every day. They don't just have a prayer culture. The serious ones, they live in prayer.
Absolutely.
I was like, wow.
Absolutely.
No one preached to you.
No. Because you can't talk to me about Jesus.
Gunmen came out and surrounded
me. And to all the audience, I'm so glad that you've tuned in, and it's going to be an exciting time in the presence of the Lord, because the Lord is everywhere. And I can assure you that there's going to be a shift at the end of this interview.
Yeah.
Thank you to have me here.
Oh, it's so good to have you. I'm so excited about what we're going to be talking about. Now, I came across a snippet of your testimony in the summertime in the UK. I think it was at a conference. I was ministering there, and you just came up to give a short exhortation. And literally, the snippet I heard got my attention, especially because of lots of things that happened afterwards. And you were born into a Muslim family, and you were born in the heart of Islam. You were radical to the core. So I want you to just take a moment to just give us the scenario. What was life like for you as a child, and what context were you in? Because many people watching have no clue what it's like to be in that world.
I was born into a very committed religious family as Muslims. My father was one of the most awarded Second World War veteran. He fought during Second World War, and they were part of the team that were able to win the war. And so Islam was not just a religion to us. Islam was a culture in my father's house. My father was a very, very devoted Muslim. And so, one, being a soldier; two, the discipline; three, the commitment. The spirit of a soldier is a spirit of loyalty. And so there's no compromise to that. And so what you hold there, now in my entire lineage, Christianity, had not existed.
Wow.
Nobody was a Christian. Christianity was not allowed close by. Their tenets, the text of the Christian faith is not allowed in my house. So the name Jesus was just a mere name. It's just a mere apostle. It is a taboo. It's an abomination to call Jesus the Son of God. So there's no way you can ever refer to Jesus Christ as the Son of God.
So what you just quoted there is from the Quran.
Yes, it's from the Quran. And so it's like making an oath. And this is the oath that keeps you as a Muslim. And so, born into the family, I grew up to be one of the child that is very, very close to my dad. And so I inherited his passion. I inherited his perspective. I inherited this pattern of life. And because I want to please my father, I dreamt to be one of the closest person to Prophet Muhammad. I emulated, I followed, I patterned my life after Muhammad. I studied the sayings of the Prophet as my daily meal. I could live as a little child. I could live for a number of few days without taking anything. I'm just on the Quran.
As in fasting?
In fasting, just studying in hadiths, the sayings of the Quran, of the Prophet. I studied the Sahabas, that is the disciples that are very close to him, that were very, very close to him. One of them is Bildad. He is a dark-skinned man, an African. He's one of the strongest. So, looking at an African closest to the Prophet, he's full of muscles, tough guy. And he has been with the Prophet, led most of the jihad, won and conquered. And so I dreamed of that Bildad around the Prophet. And I followed everything. So both fasting, prayers, actions, association. So my father was pleased. I wanted to make my father so, so proud. So, so proud. Because to you as a Muslim, your parents, the position of your parents, the vision of your parents takes 80% of your life. So that means your thought process, your relationship with people is actually determined by the atmosphere created by your parents. And so it's going to be your greatest pride to honor your parents, because it's like you are virtually honoring Allah physically. So this act of disobedience to parental guide is minimal, very, very minimal. So growing up as a child, at the age of 5, I started fasting.
Wow, at 5?
Yes, at 5.
Like what kind of fasting?
Fasting.
As in no food for a whole day, for 3 days?
Yeah, the whole day. Just the Ramadan fast.
Okay. And this is normal practice for Christians, for Muslims at 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a normal one when you come from a very committed, addicted Islamic family. Because you will have the sufur, that's the breaking of to eat the meal before you start the fast. Everybody will be up. And you will eat the meal, preparing for the day. I began praying, the regular prayers at that age. So I had basically 3 way of life, just like my dad. My dad had a triangular life from his office to the mosque, the house, office, mosque. I've never seen my father going out for clubbing. I've never seen my father going out to meet people and have what they call social life. No, it's his life revolves around his family and his faith, and so his work. So I saw a man that came up very disciplined and dedicated. My father was a real man that everybody will really desire in terms of his commitment to the family. Um, Based on our tradition, if you're a male child, there are certain things that you're not allowed to do. But my father built a family where the male children do the things that the female one do. And so my father cooks. My father supports my mom. And so as the male children, we go to kitchen, we cook, we wash. My father is a top disciplinarian. He doesn't tolerate indiscipline in the family. Respect is a key factor with my mom. So we grew up in that environment, and his life was morally sound. Morally sound. If my dad tells you yes, you can go to bed, it's yes. If my dad tells you no, you can be sure it's no. If my dad says I'm going all out with you, it doesn't matter the pressure anywhere, he will go all out for you. So morally sound. My dad respected my mom, that we saw the way a man is supposed to treat his wife, with dignity, with honor. And my mom honored my father almost like a god.
Wow.
Yes. So we saw the way a woman could contribute, honor, respect, value her husband. So there was no crack. It was a beautiful atmosphere of leadership and fellowship. So from that moment, I started going to the Quranic school to learn, because ultimately I want to leave the Quran and the Hadiths. So I grew up in that, and my father was extremely very excited. I was an obedient child. Like I said, never wanted to give my dad one penny. So I started getting deeper. So around the age of 7, 8, I started seeing spirits, what we call the Al-Jinn, the white demons. I started seeing them. We will have conversation. We'll have discussions.
Wait, so let's just break that down. With your eyes open or in dream encounters?
We don't believe in revelations as Muslims. The only person that had revelation was Prophet Muhammad. But it was a physical thing. I will sit right in my room, and I'll see them.
And they will come and you start talking
And
to
we
them.
talk, yeah.
And is it often when you're on your own? Would people around you see them too?
No.
Just you see
Just
them?
me.
And
And the only thing is, if you're close by, you hear me talk.
And like in the Islamic world, is there like Islamic theology for that?
No. Except for Al-Jinn, certain supernatural visitations that come, but very, very, very few. But it's all attributed to the Prophet Muhammad. All right. But you can be influenced by these powers, because they are Jinn. They term like pure demons. That's what they call white demons. Okay. So they influence most of the actions of jihadists.
Right. So when you say these demons were talking to you, what did they look like?
They are creatures. They look just different creatures.
Animal creatures?
Yes, sometimes they come with the face of animals. Sometimes
Like half like, is it like a hybrid, like a human body, animal head?
No, sometimes full, and sometimes you see the parts of the body are not just together. It's like a beast.
A beast, yeah.
Right. It's like a beast. And the beast is not like what you know of the beast. Usually you feel the face distorted. No, this one you can see the head is down, their legs are up. And then they come in the form of human. And sometimes they come in the form of angels.
As in, like an angel of light looking good.
They look good. Yes, they look good. They come like angels. They speak with you. And what they do is each time they come to me, they reaffirm, they strengthen me in my convictions of what I learn or what have been taught
From Islam.
From Islam. So they just come, reaffirm, re-strengthen my convictions. So those experiences were making me much more addicted to my faith. Much more. So there was this growing of Islam and the Prophet Muhammad overshadowing every aspect of me. And there was this diminishing of any other faith. And that means that no any other faith is supposed to be standing than Islam. So if I see, for instance, I see you as a Christian, there is this natural hate that comes on. I see you as a slave and a servant and as abominable. If I see you as a Jew, I hate you. Now, those appearances and encounters were influenced by the teachings. So when we go to the Quranic school, the key teachings you receive is kill the infidels. Kill the infidels. So you constantly keep hearing, don't have anything to do with the Christian. The Christian is a rebel against God's divine order for saying Jesus Christ is the Son of God. So that line of statement influenced everything. Then the other one is everybody in the world must bow to Islam. So if anybody will resist the message of Islam, clear him or her out. So you receive this, as a little child. I have been indoctrinated. And this message of conquest. Don't forget that growing up, I dreamt to be like the Sahaba and the Prophet Muhammad. So I came up growing up with the mind, with the picture of fighting for the cause of Islam. So I go to attend the Quranic school. And the Malam, all the teaching is always centered on submission to Allah, honor to his prophet, which is the last messenger of God, and is the ultimate messenger of God. And then subscribing to the other one, if anybody conquer the world by whatever means, for Allah will bless you. So I grew up with that mindset. Now, and then I was having also this
supernatural encounters,
spiritual encounter, which were demonic. Later I got to know when I got saved, basically. But all of those things, everybody was seeing me as being very, very addictive, committed to a cause. My father loved it. My brothers, we were all committed into the Islamic thought. But two of us were major. Myself and one of my brother, Abubakar. He's an Islamic scholar now.
So he's still
he's still a Muslim. We have a divide in the family now. We have Muslims and Christians. So very, very committed. So there is this love flowing between parents and children and parents. So we had a very harmonious family. One thing I can tell you is that every committed Islamic family, there is a culture that governs us. And you realize that it doesn't matter your exposure. It doesn't matter your experience out in the world. It does not change the fact of the, let me use the word, the ideas or the ideologies, that the philosophy that governs what you do as a family. So you go into the society, you're going with a mission. You go into systems, you go with a mission. You go into business transactions, you go with a mission. And that mission is don't allow the world conquer you, you conquer the world.
Yeah.
So from there, around the age of 12, I started going for Islamic training as a militant.
Okay, so can you just help us understand how that works? Is that something that is by default people who are Muslims go into, or is it like you have to be chosen? Is it like a special...
It's something that is always thrown at every family, a Muslim family.
An option.
And if you want to really be a defender of Islam, you will really desire it, because that is the best thing. Remember that your craving is to behave like the Prophet. And there are certain truths nobody can deny. the way the Prophet Muhammad lived his life and the Sahabas, and how they were able to conquer territories and brought people to subjection to Islam.
So are you saying then that that option is also offered to Muslims in the West? It's not just something
No,
like
no. It's all over the world. There are sect of Muslims that go into the parliament. They don't go into the parliament to seek for just law. No, they seek
they're
for
militant.
Yes, they seek for a law that will enhance Islamism. It's going on in Europe. It's going on as I talk to you right now. It's going on, and they are breeding very fast. In the late 80s, there's one of the books I wrote. I warned the West. At that time, it was minimal, but I said, watch it, because I was part of the people. They bring out the agenda. They teach us. This is the agenda. This is the agenda of what we want to accomplish in 10 years. This is what we want to accomplish in 50 years.
So they think in decades.
Yeah. Now they look at the population. They look at where they are. They look at and say, okay, this place is 10,000 people and our population is 1,000. How do we, because they know the power of numbers. So they now initiate the process of mass reproduction. So you realize that instead of giving birth to two, one Muslim family will give birth to 12. The birth of that number is not that they don't know the liability, but they look at the goal of getting the number to dominate. And the moment they are able to dominate, they bring everybody under the Sharia law. So coming up, it's a pride for me to become a member of the militant. So we were taken away to outside the city. We go into a desert place for training. And so we come back home in the evening. Our parents are so excited, very happy. We began the guerrilla training, the drilling, the military.
Wait, are you telling me that this is also happening? This sort of training will be happening in the UK?
It's going on. It's going on. The thing is, we are so discreet that a lot can happen in this room that can blow up everywhere in this city, and you will know. One thing I can tell you is that the Muslims are good in keeping information.
Wow. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, very good in keeping information. Extremely, extremely very good. So coming up, I went. That was how I learned military training. I didn't go to military school. I learned man of war. I didn't join the Boy Scout. I went to Islamic military training for the defense of Islam. And it was the most glorious thing. We contributed our resources. Our parents gave us the support. Both our uniforms, our boots, the instruments we were using, our donations, and all of that. Our parents were giving it to us because they are proud that we are coming up for the defense of Islam. And basically, psychologically, you are influenced that if you die for the cause of advancing Islam, there is the greater part of your reward. So the Malam gives you such a picture. For instance, one lady in heaven, if Allah should open the heaven for you, for her to smile, just one of her teeth alone is able to seduce you and you get lost. So we see this picture. That's the one part of the reward. And these are the rewards Allah will give to you in Al-Jannah. So we go. So I did the training, come back, and it took us few years for those training. And you build yourself in boxing, in karate, in weapon handling, in guerrilla training, and all of that. So that informed now later on forming what we call the Jama'atul Nasr Islam in Nigeria in 1976.
Okay, before I get you to explain that, you're doing all this training alongside your normal education?
Yes, I was doing that alongside.
Okay.
All
so
right.
now can you explain that thing you said in 1986?
1976.
76.
Yeah, so that was how we got to form the Jama'atul Nasr Islam. The Jama'atul Nasr Islam was formed to protect the interests of Islam in Nigeria. It was formed to become like the militant arm of Islam in Nigeria. It was formed to be able to make sure that it also preserves the economic power of the Muslims in Nigeria. So basically, that was the group that we were ranked. So you have a captain, you have a major general, and all of that in the hierarchy. And so I was meant to be part of the strategic team. The strategic team are the ones who develop the war tactics, strategy of city invasion, strategy in Islamic invasions. And so we now came up with what is called the Islamic agenda. Young people, young minds together with some elders. And it was a blueprint for over 50 years. And that blueprint is being followed to today.
So that blueprint from 1976,
Six.
that blueprint is running right now in
running.
Nigeria
It's
right
running.
now.
That's part of what you
The
see
issues
going
are-
on. Yeah.
Wow. So at this point, you were still in your teens.
Yes.
And then did you end up getting involved in any kind of actual physical acts of
Yeah,
terror?
but of course you have to. At that time, basically, the Boko Haram and others kind of acts was not full manifested. Like we had more of psychological, economic, political warfare, and spiritual warfare. Okay, and so we were all involved in it. And you know the joy, what makes you happy actually, is when you go to the field, you carry out some boxing, you know, and then the picture you have is you seeing yourself knocking out a Christian. Yeah, knocking out a Christian, and so or the Jew or the Western. We hated the West. The West were our main arch enemies, right? So basically, psychologically, you're already influenced, and so your thoughts have been controlled by that same spirit. So as a teenager, the most of the people that actually carry out Islamic advancements are not the elderly, are usually the teens and the youth.
Wow.
Yeah. 75% of Islamic jihadists are between the age of 12 and 35.
Wow. And you didn't tell us where you lived in Nigeria this time. Where were you based?
I was in Maiduguri,
Maiduguri. Okay.
my hometown.
That's like in the north.
In
That's
the
like,
far north.
Yeah, in the far north.
And that is the epicenter of the Boko Haram. So most of the places we train, if you have read my book that I wrote in the 80s, most of the places, Satanism exposed, most of the places we train became the places that Boko Haram are using as their base. Yeah.
Wow.
All the places I train. So that's to tell you the continuity, because I had already left Islam. So got converted. But then those places I trained, I wrote in that book then when everything was like normal in Nigeria. But I wrote and I said, watch out, these areas of our training, this is the areas where Islamic militants will shoot from.
So maybe let me ask you more directly. Did you carry out attacks against Christians, against people?
Basically, yes.
So you did that in your teens?
Yes.
Killings?
The destruction of Christian properties, burning of Christian churches, Christian materials, and all of that. Remember, I was part of the strategic team. I mean, you can just imagine what crime has a Christian committed. I've seen in front of me with the Bible, and I go collect the Bible and destroy it. And the Christian will be standing there gazing at me. The Christian will not be able to do anything, and I'll show to the Christian and say, you tried, you get the beating of your life. And the Christian goes away. What crime? What crime has a Christian committed that the Christian will gather here, for instance, try to pray, and they will be shut down, and the place of their worship will be burnt down? No crime. It's just what we were taught.
It's like an indoctrination that has...
We were taught coming up.
Yeah.
So our thoughts, we don't think like we think Islam. Now somebody may try to refute and say, no, that's not Islam. It's the jihadis. The jihadis learned it just the way I learned.
So how do you explain moderate Islam, moderate Muslims? Because you say, okay, you were offered that opportunity at 12. Those that didn't go into the militant faction of Islam, are they then like the moderate ones?
Yeah. Now, in my family, for instance, we had the aggressive one, but basically because of exposure, my father influenced. Let me use the word moderation. Remember, he was part of the people that fought the Second World War, and so he fought for humanity. But the aspect of me becoming addicted was something that was poured into me at the school.
Oh. And the spiritual encounters.
And the spiritual encounters. But in terms of following the footsteps, prayers, devotion, let me use the word consecration, it was the pride of my father. So all of us grew up in that. But then my dad and my mom, there was the moderation. They love humanity. They respect humanity. But that aspect initial of hatred, for instance, when the firstborn, my elder brother got saved for, he was the first that got born again. My father attempted to kill him.
Wow.
Yes. Because there was nothing wrong. My father was doing what was right. Chronically, he wasn't doing anything wrong. So there's nothing like, why will a father take a sword to go after his son to kill because he became he became a Christian? No, he's doing just what is right.
Right now, I saw in the news a father and a son. I think they've been prosecuted because they killed the daughter or the sister. I think they drowned her because she wasn't going to. Was something about putting on the hijab and all that. She was refusing that, and so they killed her.
Right.
For the Western mind, we cannot comprehend.
You can't comprehend it.
Why you would kill your own sister?
That's right. A sound mind. Let me use the word.
Yeah,
a sound human being.
Yes.
Forget about even the West. A sound human being won't do that. But there's something planted, and that thing makes you to see things with that lens. And that's what I get. Let me use the word. I get a little bit set aback when I see the West being influenced, and they just believe that Islam is just normal.
Oh, no. The word we've heard a lot is Islam is a religion of peace.
No, it's not true. It's not true. Now, let me give you an example. In Quran chapter 2, verse 191, I'm just giving you a few examples. Remember, the Quran is my life. The Quran was the book that influenced everything about what I think, what I say, what I eat. The Quran, you don't know, let me give you this. Handling the Quran is so holy a book that, for instance, you can't go into the toilet or into the restroom and ease yourself and come out and touch the Quran. No. It's too holy. You have to wash your hands before you handle the Quran. That's why if a Muslim cites a Christian holding the Quran, that's a blasphemy.
Oh, wow.
And you can go for it. Yes. You can be killed for that.
You can be killed by a Muslim because as a Christian, they saw you holding the Quran.
Holding the Quran. It's like defiling the book. Because you need to carry out some rituals.
Yeah, to hold it.
You have to wash your hands and all of that. Say certain prayers before you handle the Quran.
That's how much reverence they have.
Right.
They have for the book.
And they believe that the Quran, from the teaching, actually they said the Quran was dropped from heaven to Prophet Muhammad. But that's not true. Later on, of course, come to discover. So based on research, I discovered that the Quran was books written by the different Sahabas, So here is it. It said, kill them wherever you encounter them and drive them out from where they drove you. So when the Muslims, the jihad, it comes around, this verse, Quran chapter 2, verse 191, it's a major spirit. Kill them wherever you encounter them. Stop. Kill them wherever. It's just like somebody reading the Bible. You would want to do everything the Bible says.
Yeah.
That's why the natural thing you find about Christian, to God be the glory, is love. It's because of what the book says. Now, this is the book, Quran chapter 9, verse 5. When the sacred months are passed, then kill the polytheists wherever you find them. Capture them and beseech them. So that's why if you watch it, during the Ramadan period, there are less killing. Immediately after the Ramadan is blood. Is this? When the sacred months have passed, then kill. Quran chapter 9, verse 29. Again, I'm giving you, out of many, I'm giving you just few. Fight those who do not believe in God. Now, this one, they are talking about those who do not believe in God. Now, these are the Jews and the Christians. Because they say, we call Jesus the Son of God, and Jesus is not the Son of God. So they said, wherever you find them, kill them. for that belief.
Hmm.
But if they submit to Allah, if they agree to Allah, then they are to pay tax.
Hmm.
And if they're not going to pay the tax, clear them.
Hmm. Hmm.
So these are the kind of things you, as a young person, you are hearing. Then every time the Imam is teaching and giving you these verses, these scriptures, you will say, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Then he takes you on the story of jihad. And then he talks back to you to say, you are the hope of Islam. Allah will be proud of you to carry out this thing. Then he goes further and then he reads Quran chapter 8 verse 12. He will read it and you can be on that chapter for 3 hours. That verse.
As in what? In repetition?
In repetition. Because you have to be reciting it. You're reciting it. It becomes a spirit. It goes into your marrow. I mean, you're drinking water, you're thinking of the verse. You're eating, you're thinking of the verse. You're walking on the street, you're thinking of the verse. Your perspective is ruled by that verse.
Wow.
There is a strange energy. I can't describe to you.
Mm.
There is something that you feel it.
Mm.
You feel the power. You feel the drive.
And this was not just an experience isolated to you. All the other people you were with are also feeling the same
they
spirit.
feel the same. Every jihadist is driven by that spirit.
Wow.
It's the spirit of the Antichrist.
Wow.
Very, very strong. You find your pride in it. That's your pride. I remember some of the times we will be in our training camps and we won't be on food. We'll be on dates. You just eat 2 dates and water. That's all for days.
And that's not even Ramadan.
No.
That was just a life of consecration.
Just life of consecration. It's something that gets into you. You're given 2 dates, and then you're doing some militant training. You jump from this tree to that tree. And in between this and this are broken bottles and fire. If you drop, that's you. So you must win. Because you're going into a war. There is a war on earth. Islam must win. You must bring the world, the nations, under the control of Islam. So here is it. I will cast terror into the heart of those who disbelieve. That's Allah now speaking. So when I do that, strike them upon the neck and strike every fingertips of theirs. You hear that kind of a thing in a lecture? You know this is what is demanded of you? How can you be a normal human? No. As I'm talking to you, I'm beginning to have a little bit part of, thank God I have the Holy Spirit in me. There's no way you can read this after meditation. We meditate a lot. There's no way after meditation, you will strike. You will look for the opportunity. You will create the opportunity. So violence in defense of Islam is normal. It's normal. Let me read it. Let me read it. Quran chapter 8 verse 12. I will cast terror into the hearts of those who disbelieve. So how does he do it? Come and cause confusion. When you set the confusion, the next thing is do something, an argument sets out. You say blasphemy, blasphemy, blasphemy. And then the next thing you will see a group of army. Check them. It's young people and teenagers. They will come with stones, come with sticks, to fight.
It reminds me of the story I heard. I was in Sokoto State, a girl in a chat group.
That's right.
She said something.
That's right.
And it seemed something quite innocent.
Absolutely.
And before she knew it, she was burned.
She was burned right in front of the authorities. And the faces of the young men who burned her were not hidden. They said it. It's on the net. Now that's it. And they were protected till today. The Sultan, that is the seat of the Sultan, the seat of the leader of Muslims in Nigeria. But to the let me use the word, to the leader of Islam, it was a justifiable act. They did well. They should be rewarded.
Wow. When you talk about it this way, it makes you think with how ingrained this is, I'm not really sure how we can move forward.
Right. Now,
Maybe you'll share with us the way forward at some point, because it seems quite hopeless.
Quran chapter 47. Just few. So these things are dotted in hadith.
And for the viewers that don't understand what the hadith is and how that compares to the Quran, can you just...
The hadith is the life of the Prophet and his messengers. The Quran is termed as word that came from Allah, from God to him. But the hadith is a compilation of his lives, of some of his sayings, some of the his associates and the things they did. So you want to see his relationship with women, you want to see his relationship with people, you go to the hadiths. But the hadith is to most Muslims, the hadith is almost like the Quran. Because Muhammad is virtually worshipped. Forget about they don't worship any but Allah. Try to stand here and say, Allah, something is wrong with you. Nobody's going to touch you. But stand and said, Muhammad, in seconds you'll be down. Because Muhammad is the major force. So look at this verse. Quran chapter 47 verse 4. When you meet those who disbelieve in battle, strike their necks until you have thoroughly subdued them, then bind them firmly. That's why this verse controls most of Muslims that come to the West. So they start as servants, but they aim at dominating you. And that's the reason why when you look at small young Muslim boys and girls, check them out. Their dressing and everything fits into what they've been told. But they are watching. They are growing with that mindset. They go to the same school with you. They enjoy the liberty. They enjoy the provision of the government and all of that. But they have a target. At a particular stage, they must take over.
It's like a programming.
Right. They're doing everything. And go check it. It's systematic. They're going to take over the system, the politics.
Yeah.
They're going to influence the laws so that they can gradually begin to sneak in the Sharia law. Now, they can be very peaceful when they are not in control.
Yeah.
But they will follow you carefully until they begin to control.
Because they play the long game.
Yes.
Like we said earlier, decades.
Right. What we call in the military term, playing along. That's a military term. That means that you can just do as if you're harmless and then play along. But in the fullness of time,
you reveal your true colors.
You reveal your true self based on this. So there's no way somebody can be listening to this. And remember that the meditation on each verse is not something that you just read. Like I see a lot of Christians, they just read this verse of the Bible. Just in a minute, they are done. They didn't begin to think of other things, not Islam. You meditate. Meditation is a powerful tool. We meditate. We can chew over and think over this verse until this verse becomes a person. This is 43 years now. I left Islam. 43 years I left Islam. But I can recite. 43 years I have not, like I used to do, go to the Quran, take it, read it, and meditate. I pray 172 times every day.
Wow.
I don't do that anymore.
Oh, wait. As a Muslim, you prayed 172
times
every day. So we are told that a good Muslim prays 5 times a day.
Yeah.
And so, because I was talking to an ex-Muslim recently, and I was making the comment that Christians have a prayer meeting and Muslims have a prayer culture. And then she said, they don't just have a prayer culture. The serious ones, they live in prayer.
Absolutely.
I was like, wow.
Absolutely.
172 times. So when you say you pray that much, are you talking about short bursts of prayer where you pray before you go to the toilet, you pray? Like how did that play out?
Yeah, there are certain rakats you do, when you're done with the normal time of prayer, you continue. You do your own more rakats based on what you want to invoke.
What do you mean based on what you want to
invoke? There are
invoke?
360 gods, 360 spirits to every dealings of what you want. You call these spirits. You can get my book, The Queen of Heaven, Volume 2. I wrote the names of the spirits. They're there.
So you're saying the radical Islamists understand what you're saying?
Yes.
And so based on the spirits they want to engage. They pray in a certain way to invoke that spirit.
Yeah. And when I want to fight your star, there are certain spirits I invoke. I can invoke that verse for 10,000 times.
So it's not just 5 times a day prayer.
No.
It's going into the occultic.
No.
It
goes deeper. That's why you can sit down. You can sit down here and I look into the stars and you can exchange people's stars. the depths of meditation, looking at those verses. You take those verses, you keep reciting them. Kula uzu, kula uzu, kula uzu, kula uzu. That's where you see them with the beats.
Yeah.
Or you see them now, they are using a very small thing that is counter, that is usually used for counting number. Now they are using it, you see them pressing it. You see a parliamentarian doing it. You see a lecturer doing it. You see a medical doctor doing it. You see a banker doing it. They are stuck it.
And they're deliberately engaging a certain spirit that they are wanting to invoke in a certain situation.
Very, very. They are engaging it. So they can stay on to recite something over this environment here and cripple the powers here. And they take charge. They can recite that 20,000 times.
So when they're doing that, are they counting the number?
Yeah.
They're counting the number of times.
Yeah.
Why do they need to count it?
Yeah, because it is in the volume of what you do. You generate the right energy. So you generate the right cloud.
So they're aware, okay, because I want to invoke this spirit, I need to chant this.
Yes.
20,000 times. So they're counting each time they do it.
Yes, they're counting.
Right.
So when you get to 20,000, the volume, the energy has been generated, and so the spirits will come. They will strike.
Wow.
Okay, it's like if I want to pull this weight and I need to generate the proper energy to pull it. So before I start pulling this weight, I would generate. When I generate the energy, there is this, I don't know how to say it in the natural language, there is this supernatural collection of forces. So when you collect them, then it goes into the supernatural realm and give you the right principality to deal with the matter.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are you telling me that the average Muslim knows this?
Yes.
And then the serious ones are doing it.
The serious ones are doing it. So now you have the camp. That's why you realize that when it comes to persecution, they go after the moderate Muslims, but they can't do without Islam. The moderate Muslims don't like it because they know this is not a good life. The moderate Muslims, they see humanity being oppressed and afflicted. And there is no place that this thing is practiced that the city or the community prospers.
Wow.
And that's why I warn the West. No place that Islamic law, Sharia law has been practiced that is it prospers. No, nowhere.
Goes downhill.
It will go down. It will go down. The system will go down. The people will go down. Everything will go down. It will become very restless, dirty environment.
My God.
So, my dear viewers, today you have witnessed something extraordinary. The story of Prophet Isa El-Buba proves one eternal truth. No human being is too lost for Jesus Christ to save. It does not matter where you have begun. It does not matter where you have been. It does not matter what mistakes you have made. It does not matter how dark your past looks. If Jesus could transform a man walking completely in the opposite direction, then he can transform you too. There are many people watching me right now carrying secret guilt, hidden pain, unconfessed sin, and bodies no one knows about. But today, God is reminding you, His mercy is still available. Do not wait until tomorrow because eternity is real. And Jesus is still calling people today. If you go through this particular channel, my recent videos, you see that there are a lot of manifestation and encounters with Jesus, both by Muslims and Christians, those that die and return back to life, that I have posted recently. Watch them and see how real Jesus is. So if you're watching right now and you want Jesus to change your life, I want you to type boldly in the comment section, Jesus, I surrender my life to you today. If this testimony moved your heart, please subscribe right now and join this growing family where lives are transformed through faith. Turn on notification because part 2 may reveal truth many Christians have never heard before. And share this video with people who needs God's mercy. So my dear, with this I say enjoy your day. Have a blessed day.